Well, hello guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. This is like video number, I don't know, 4 or 5 today, something crazy. This one we're going to talk about napkin number 2. So in the last video, we talked about napkin number 1, which is just a simpler, faster way to make a holiday tree napkin. This one here takes a little bit more time and thought as to what you're doing. If I can do it, you can do it. Period. There's nothing special over here. There's nothing magical over here. If I can do it, you can do it. But this one is a little bit more difficult to make than this guy here. The very first ones that I did, I followed the directions, and what happened is that this stump is just not quite centered the way that I want it to be. And that's because in the directions she says to do 2 inches from the end, and it looks better if you go 2.5 inches from the end. So go in like 2.5 inches, a little bit further. And that's about the only discrepancy I had with the pattern. For the most part, I was able to follow it. Yeah, they came out really cute. This fabric, love it. I used it before, and then I went out and bought some more because I liked it so much. It comes out cute. It's probably gonna take you, maybe if the other one is like a 30-minute tree, this one here might be like a 45-minute tree. But you're going to get multiples as you're doing it, depending upon how you cut your fabric. So I suggest cutting sets, at least 4, have 4 napkins or more, whatever you want to do. Super cute gift idea. I would love to be at a table wiping my mouth with one of these napkins. I just think it's kind of cool. And now that I know I can make my own napkins, I might just stop using regular old vanity napkins. Just kidding. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Okay, so I am reversing this fabric so that the right sides are together, and then I can kind of see the lighter side, which is why I'm doing that. I need to see the lighter side for this technique. I'm going ahead and starting off with a fresh edge, and then I'm going to rotate the fabric. And I am finger pressing it in half so that I know where the middle mark is. And I'm grabbing a ruler, and I'm placing that tip of the ruler right in that ditch, and I'm making a mark at 8.5 inches. I'm moving it over a touch, making another mark, moving it over a touch, making another mark. And this is how I'm going to get an 8.5 inch radius circle all the way around. You can't see it, but I can. And I am going to just do a rough cut with these scissors. You can do this with your rotary cutter if you feel comfortable. This is not perfect, but it's working. And I have 2 pieces of fabric there, right sides together. And then I'm going to just freshen up the edge here with my secondary fabric. Then I'm going to use that set of fabrics as a guide. So I'm just going to pin it so that the fabric doesn't shift. And then I'm going to go around and roughly cut again. This is for the tree trunk or stump or base. And I need a 2.5 inch strip. So there we go, 2.5 inch strip. If you have a extra jelly roll, that'll work. That's laying around, perfect. I'm freshening up the edge, and I'm making cuts at 2 inches. So this should be 2 by 2.5. Now I'm going to grab the little guys here, and we're going to put them right sides together. Right sides together. There we go. And on the long way, the 2.5 inch way, it's going to be a little short stump. So you just go all the way around, clip the corners. Actually, you don't. You leave the top open because you're going to rotate it. So go around 3 sides. Clip the corner so that you can turn it easier. Stick your little purple thing in there, poke out your edges. And go ahead and top stitch all the way around. Now you see I am taking that flat end and I'm lining it up with that. And I'm pinning this little guy at 2 inches from that corner. I'm measuring it. That block, I put it up there with the block, and then I go down 2 blocks. Do not do that. Go down more than two. Go down more than two. 2.5 or 3 is better placement for this. You'll see in a second. 2.5 or 3 is way better placement for this. You see, I'm putting it down there. This little stump, it's not far enough over, which is why I had to keep making napkins until I got it right. Now I'm pinning them together so that I can go on ahead and sew them up. Leave a hole to turn it. You'll see that I pinned. And where you start, you want to back stitch and then go around your corners. And I'm back stitching over where that little stump is. I can feel it, but I figured, I'm going to go on ahead and just make sure that it's really secure. And then you're going to stop and back stitch again so that you've left a hole. So I've left about a 3.5 inch, 4 inch hole there. And now I'm clipping the curves because it's just good practice to do so. Even though it's a pretty gentle curve, just go on ahead and clip your curve. You're going to clip to the stitches, but not through the stitches. And now I am ironing this puppy smooth. And I'm just feeling my way around. And now it's feeling pretty good. And so now we are going to figure out 5 inches from that left-hand side. And then I'm going to go on ahead and press a crease into this half semicircle. So I measured 5 inches from that left-hand side. You see my trunk is to the right. There's nothing to the left. And fold it in and press like the dickens. I also took a marker and marked in that crease so that I could clearly see it. And now we're getting ready to top stitch again. And I like to top stitch at about 1/8 as opposed to 1/4. So going ahead and top stitch. I started right before that crease that we made, before the crease. And you're going to drive all the way back around to it. I'm all the way around again. And now you're going to sew straight through the crease. I should have moved that magnet. That magnet should not be there right now. That's just not smart. But I'm going straight up the crease. So I started before the crease, worked my way all the way around. Then I drove over where I started and went straight down to the crease, through the crease. And now I'm pressing it flat. And now I'm going to find that crease where I was again. Now it's got a stitch line in there so that it will hold its shape really well. And we're going to press again. Press, press, press. Now we're going to rotate this puppy. You see where the stump is now, and it's flat at the top, and you're going to fold this into thirds. So you go over, then back, then over again, thirds. You're trying to get this in thirds right here. And when you're happy with the placement, go on ahead and hit it with the iron. Make sure to get that really in there. Now we're going to flip it over to the back. And we're going to pull that over some more. We're going to pull it towards our body more. Not what I'm doing right here. You're going to pull it towards your body more. More, more, more. There we go. And make sure that it's lined up with that side on the right. And then we're going to flip it back and make it even again. And you should be looking at the opposite color now. And then we're going to hit that with an iron. So you see, if that stump had been moved over to the left just a little bit, it would look a little bit better. It looks a little bit more whimsical than I want it to look. But it's still pretty cool. Don't worry. I tried it again because I was like, something is up. Like, nah. Even though I followed the directions, these directions came from Jordan Fabrics. I think that it looks way better when you move that little stump over. So I start measuring it. I'm like, how far over can I go? More. So this is me at that same step trying again, because I'm one of those people where if I want to perfect lasagna, I will make 25 lasagnas. So I'm pinning it at least 2.5 from that corner. And so I've sewn it all the way around. Again, I flipped it. We're going to go on ahead and find 5 inches again. And here you'll be able to see it a little bit better. Hit it with that iron. And now you're going to sew it all the way around and then come back and do your thirds right here. You're trying to get it in thirds, and then flip it over and come all the way towards your body and line it up and then flip it backward. And this looks centered way better, right? Whoop, whoop. Yes. And now you're going to go on ahead and hit it with that iron and just make sure that it's nice and in there. And this is really cute. It really is a cute napkin idea. I really like it. And I wanted to get an opposite colorway. So I was like, what happens if I flip it over and do it from a different side? Nothing. It works. So you do it in thirds. And this time I started with the stripes on top because I wanted to have a little variation at the table. So there you go. Pull it all the way towards your body and then flip it back. There we go. And press like the dickens. And now I have two variations of the same napkin. I have the green one and then I have the striped one on top. So you'll see when I put them side by side, you will definitely see that one starts with the green at the top and the other one starts with the stripes. You can hit it with steam if you want. And here we go. Love it. How cute would these be? Thanks for hanging out. Bye-bye.